Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the BrosThinkBig podcast. This is the show where we talk about the simple and yet complicated ideas of self-improvement. Tune in and join us as we become the best versions of ourselves so that you guys can too. Remember to like and subscribe for more. Today we decided to bring back one of the few electric guests. Chris, come back on.
Let's go, Chris. Ooh.
What's up, fellas?
Oh,
How you doing?
Yeah,
buddy.
What's up, man? How you doing? Chris, you've obviously been here before. For those of you that don't know, he is one of the few returning guests that we have brought on. And we really just want to have such an interesting conversation where we just dive into so many different things because your mind is just so, just
creative.
I was going to say creative. Like, there's so many things going on out there at once, and I want to pick each thing out individually. So, why don't we get started?
Well, I really appreciate that, bro, and I'm glad to be back. I really fuck with y'all gentlemen. Y'all gentlemen are so
we do too, man. We
very
do too.
Smooth young men.
Good to have you
very
back.
smart individuals, and I appreciate y'all's company.
As are you.
So, Chris, I know you are a holy man, right? And
I try to be.
yeah, don't we all? Right. So I feel like nowadays generation of men, there's something missing with people, and the topic of discussion is going to be the lack of godliness in men nowadays. What would you say to why do you think men need God nowadays? Or people in general.
It's funny. It's like you saw my brain going. I'm just like men, but yeah, men need God exponentially, and as well as all human beings on this earth. But men need God the most because if as far as the Bible goes, the succession to spirituality is God over Christ, Christ over man, man over woman, woman over children. And if a man isn't good with his morals and his righteous indignation of being a man and good with that, and can't help the woman deal with her emotions and because women are emotional and they kind of live in hell, and a man needs to help them through that. But we'll get in that in a different time. But they won't be able to take care of the children of that man, and it will just start a whole generational cycle of craziness. Mm-hmm. But you need to have your morals in line, and you need to have your everything in line, man.
Absolutely. And Chris, could you fill me in on
because if you work on yourself and you can't get it, you can never help somebody else work on themselves, because a broken toy can't fix a broken toy.
I see what you're saying. Could you fill me in on your story and how you found your connection with God?
My connection with God is something that is an ongoing work of my life, and I think it is with most people. It's like I'll never just be like, oh, I'm a holy person and God got me, blah blah blah. It's like it's a two-way streak. You really have to you have to submit yourself to God. You have to walk it like you talk it. You have to have faith, and you have to.
You have to submit. I feel like you have to submit yourself to God, and you have to, tell Him to guide you in your life, and show you the right path, take you the right path.
Yeah.
And as you would do in a lot of things that you put your faith into. So
I was brought. Lost.
All good.
So I was brought up in a Christian household for sure, and I strayed from that most of my life, man. I've gotten into all sorts of things I shouldn't have gotten into. I've gotten into drugs. I've gotten into women. I've gotten into all sorts of, unsatisfactory things. But these things all help me learn how important it is to have a path that is righteous and walk it, because even if you don't notice it's happening to you, people around you will tell you that you're acting better. You're when you're good to people, it's like a whole chronological line that falls in line with everybody around you that is affected by you, and it's it's like a pay it forward situation.
Because where does it really all start too? Because nowadays, like a lot of people, they worship themselves, they worship money, they worship external things.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that can only last so long, right? Because then what's next after that? What's next after you get the thing that you always wanted? What's next? What's next, right?
Exactly.
So that's why it's like God is eternal. God is long lasting. He's gonna be there, like He's always there. And when you think about your success is temporary. If you really think about your whole life. So it's like people are always looking for this next thing. That's why people should look towards God, because He is eternal. He is long lasting. And when people like worship these things, like the money, the cars, like the women, these temporary things that only make them feel like so empty after. Like once you get it, then what? Then what happens? You're just chasing the next hit.
It's always going to be more. That's why like rich people always chase more money. Say a company that goes public and is in stocks and now has shareholders, even if they're doing good and it's a great solid company, every quarter they need to make more money because they have obligations to their stockholders. And then a lot of companies have done insidious things because that's just the way it is, and they need to make more money. Even if it started pure, it ends a little corrupt because of greed, which is one of the deadly sins, of course. And the reason I was kind of stuttering in the beginning over trying to like explain a righteous man, explain like why God's so good for me, is like I'm constantly working on my spirituality and everything. And there's different times in my life I feel more spiritual. I feel more better about what I'm doing. And I'm so far from a perfect person. And you say, oh, you're so spiritual, you're smart, and it stuck me up because it's hard for me to preach when I know I'm so far from perfect at this point.
You're absolutely
That's a great
right.
thing to say.
Yeah.
You know what I want to go back to from the beginning when you started ranking? You said men and women, right?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people take that
as a sexist thing.
Very,
it's not even
very sexist,
like that.
very sensitive and stuff. Because they need to understand there are times where men also submit to women. It's not just women submitting to men.
Yeah.
So where would you say that?
That's just a divine lineup.
Yeah. Where would you say that fine line lays? Like when, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
What would you say? Because it's not fully like that, right? It can be.
It can't be.
Because if people take it literally, men, women, there are going to be people who are going to say, no matter what it is, men are always higher than women. There are some times where, men need to step down a little.
Well, I think that
to consider what the women say.
As we have more technology and we know more things through science and there's more avenues, life used to be very simple. You know what I mean? It was like everybody had their roles and everybody knew their roles. Life was revolved around when you're eating and taking care of your people. So in the society nowadays, everybody's
more constructive. Is that what you're trying to say?
Not even more constructive. All their needs are taken care of, base needs. Most governments of most countries, especially our country, maybe not starving kids in Africa and all that stuff.
Bring up the microwave. Yeah.
And so.
No, you're right. I think you're doing great. Yeah.
No, but I lost my train of thought.
You were saying right now people are more relied on the government, what the government says, I think.
Yeah.
Is that where you were going with it?
Okay, good. Sorry. Comfortability is a detriment, man. You'll never grow if you're comfortable. And that's why, I don't really like more government and things, because government wants to take care of things for you like parents. They want to tell you how to do things. They want to give you the things that you need to live. Like socialism, they want to give you money and just so you can live, and they want to give you your allowance, give you these things. They want to make these 15-minute cities where everybody has everything they need. The drugstore,
They're like, you don't need a father in the household. We'll give you the money and that kind of stuff. It's that's not a good mindset. Of course you need a father at home.
Which makes roles become, they just dissipate.
Yeah,
the roles of the world dissipates where it doesn't matter. So it's like a woman doesn't need a man if she feels she has money and she feels like she doesn't need to be protected. You know what I mean? It's like something like that. So it's like.
But the family needs it. The kids need it.
The family
and that's what
needs
they
it.
need to understand.
I feel like this world is really trying to destroy family. I feel like everybody's like, be an individual, fucking, you're independent, work for yourself, do this thing, you don't need anybody. They say that, like, that's as far as even the way a feminist movement would go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
we'll touch on
I
that
believe
later.
in original feminism so much, but like where. Yeah, you should be able to vote. You should be able to do your things. You should be able to be independent. But I feel like
It got too
feminism
far.
has flipped into just like straight social atrocities where it's like
Now it's
to the
like almost a
point where-
comparison.
Yeah.
Men or women, which
Yeah.
one should be higher?
to the point where men are now scientifically trying to turn into women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
And vice versa.
because and vice versa, because it's like men see that they like are losing control of the world. They're say like, oh, we're gonna control it from this aspect now.
Right,
And I think it's a really funny thing.
Dude, I really like how, like you said, like government tries to give you everything that you need, makes you comfortable.
They want to be your daddy.
Exactly, but God gives you everything you need to grow, not to
Absolutely.
be comfortable. So there really is a difference between,
Right.
depending on the government, depending on a man-made system versus a God-made system.
Mm-hmm.
When God gives you things and puts you in ruts. He puts you in bad times. He gives you bad times, gives you good times for you to grow and to evolve because he knows what you need.
Speaking about a God-made system, it's so crazy how everything in this world works together to support everything else. And just like anything that we may be sick from, in the nature of this world, there is an herb, there is a berry, there is a natural
Remedy?
There's a natural remedy for every kind of illness that we would have, and it's just put here for us to figure out. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's crazy you say that too because I've been really thinking about this whole new world perception. Like, I don't know if you've ever like watched a show and like this one person reincarnates into another world, like they're in this new world and stuff like that, and they're curious about how like what's going on, right? We should use that same mindset with our world. Like we're born in this mysterious unknown world. Like what is out there? Like what am I capable of? What can I do? What can I achieve? Who can I meet? What can I like? What type of herbs? Like what are the remedies I can do to fix certain things? It's like, dude, like people are missing curiosity. They're missing this human desire to want to know more because they think they know everything through social media and through technology.
Well, it's
Yeah.
easier to do it on your phone.
Exactly.
Everything
it's
is
easier.
everything is
That's it.
figured out, man. Everything is figured out already, and you can really use that to your advantage. It's like the information that we have at our fingertips nowadays is really crazy because it can make or break you, really, because it can be too much. There's so much. All the useful information and the things that will like empower you and give you knowledge are there, but they're almost like hidden behind all this useless friggin' things that is just spammed on
Like
the
brain
internet.
brain
They
rot.
just- you know how like one would scroll on social media just looking at an ass jiggling or looking at somebody getting nut shotted. Do that for hours where you could literally be like reading synopsises of like some of the best like literary works of the whole world
Exactly.
up till now, which is
It's
yeah.
actually
That's their goal too, social media, to distract you from what you really want to know and your true purpose on
The,
our
the
on
goal
our,
of social media is to keep you on social media.
Let's take TikTok
well,
for
yeah,
example.
to keep you
Distracting.
distracted. That is distraction.
Through distraction.
To keep you on social
Yeah.
media is to keep you distracted.
Let's take TikTok for example. Chinese made, probably one of the best and most addictive social media platforms that has been created thus far. It can, but here, what does it feed us? It feeds America. So you can just stay on that shit 24/7. You can always watch it, and it feeds you. Ass is shaking. It feeds you. It feeds you whatever the algorithm's looking for. But it's full of smut and it's full of like social commentary and just people just like really suffering and like mentally ill people and it's crazy. But then you go to China and their citizens like can't even go on TikTok past 10 o'clock at night, and all the things that is on it is like science innovations, math, martial arts, like health, and like that's what's fed through their shit. So it's like they literally, it's like they're almost trying to take us out through like some kind of like covert
It's a
op
propaganda.
Who
Yeah,
is
it's
they?
the greatest
propaganda
propaganda tool
dude.
ever created.
And yeah, TV was the first one.
Like, why is it America though? Like, who are they that is doing all these things to America? Like, for example, the LGBTQ teaching kids nowadays, and like, oh, you can be who, like, in like the, it's like I
They're
see
so
some
young to
crazy
even
shit.
comprehend
It's like,
such stuff, and they're already told to make decision, like right there and there.
Yo, tell
And
me
it's
how
as if
you-
it's their like decision to make. You know, it's just it's a little weird.
it's like this one woman's like, my baby's gay. Like, bro, Katie, she's like holding her baby by like one arm. She's like, he's gay.
Insane.
Like, bro, come on, you okay?
Yeah.
Kids are the most impressionable things on this earth, and you can
They're innocent, bro.
Dude, innocence, dude. It's pure innocence. It's like what's cool about hanging out with kids is like you ask them a question and you really get to hear what they think because they have no
They
like
have that curious mind.
that inner like dialogue in our heads where like you grow up like say you're around people or you're around someone at your work and you want to speak your mind, be like, no, what if someone thinks this way about this or feels some sort of way about that, and then like blah blah blah, and it's like they're just completely unadulterated truth and innocence and passion. And it's great to watch kids and even like dogs and animals. That's like a pool of a dog.
Right.
My dog was the most pure like living entity on this world I ever knew. Like she's like a little angel.
Yeah,
But
when you actually look at a baby,
but
it's almost like
just wants
they're
to
like
eat,
playing
exercise,
with themselves
play.
sometimes. You know, they don't have anybody there, but they're just like almost like playing with themselves, which is something
which is
much
the
deeper
sick
than
thing.
we think.
Dude, things are so backwards in like this country because me and Sadul were talking about this like a little bit before this about like people's jokes about moms. Like Sadul, like remember like you're saying how like back in like Georgia and stuff like insulting like your parents, like, oh, okay, you're like your mom jokes, they'd get like their ass whooped, like that's like something disrespectful. But here,
Disrespectful back in the day.
motherfuckers like they just run their mouths all the time. They're not afraid to get like they're just not afraid at all.
Back when I grew up and like before, like I would say I grew up before the internet. I grew up back when, you know, boys were boys and men were men. I grew up back just in the old school a little bit. And it's like, even when you were staring at somebody wrong or like you saw something happen in the grocery store or whatever, and you're going, and you like want to talk about, your parents used to say, hey, mind your business, man. And now everything is just to be commented on the internet, and you like, whatever happened to mind your business and just, you know, and now it's like, oh, I need to comment on your political stance. I need to comment on your gender stance. I need to comment on the way you're disciplining your kid. You can't smack your kid. Sometimes kids need to be smacked, or else they're gonna do the same thing over and over again, and then tell you I'm gonna kill myself if I don't get a gender change and you chop off my dick because my teacher said I'm gay. And then my teacher doesn't need to tell you that he's telling me these things.
Dude, you're so right.
By law.
because I feel like with that mindset, when kids are fed on social media that they can talk back and as if they know everything because somebody on social media came out and said this is how it is, and the kids think, okay, they know everything. That loses the whole purpose of sitting down and listening to an adult person respectfully, as if they know something more, right? Because for the most part, they do know something more than you. Yeah. Some of them lived half of your life, 3 times more, and you have to really sit down and have the respect to listen to them because you will learn so much. But now,
and it's their response.
They know everything. They don't need to. It's almost like they don't think it's an obligation to sit down and really open their mind up to what can they teach me, because they can't teach you a lot.
You know what's funny as fuck? In my public speaking class, we're on these things where it's like argumentative speeches, and someone's deciding to do that. It's a good thing that kids should be spanked. And I can't wait for his speech, honestly, because I think so too, bro. Like, the idea is that I just watched this video, and this dad was disciplining his son because the son was talking to his mom, the mama, in the way that he wouldn't talk to the papa.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. You know
I
what
saw
I'm
that.
talking about, right? With the black guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So, but imagine if you were not to discipline him in any way, and then the son is like, "Oh, I just yelled like at my mom, and I called her, I swore at her, I cussed at her."
Yeah, but he's an
repercussion at all. No repercussion for it.
Yeah, no, but I cussed at her, and I did all this, and then I got.
The father was literally yelling at him, telling him, "Why don't you say that to me?"
Of course.
The kid was silent. He just didn't want to do it. It's like that masculine energy that the guy, the kid wouldn't dare to say that to his dad because he knew that he was in a disadvantage in a way.
But guess what?
Absolutely.
Kid doesn't get disciplined. He's doing the exact same fucking thing to the
Right.
mama. Because he got away with it. I talk shit and nothing
Right.
bad happened. It's due to consequences that work. Like that's why spanking, like beating your kids. Sometimes a kid needs to be fucking smacked.
Right.
Especially
And then
when they break
explain
those
why you
boundaries.
did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
now,
like,
if it's just a
yeah,
beating
yeah.
without,
And a kid
just
doesn't
because
need a
you did
beating.
something wrong, they won't understand it. You have to
dude.
tell them, okay, this is what you did. This is why I did it. You know, they need to have an. And sometimes kids are more smarter than we think. I feel like sometimes parents think that kids don't understand certain things. And they don't need to explain to themselves because that's the kind of environment that I grew up with.
Right.
Like they would tell me, okay, this is wrong, and then when I would ask why, oh, I didn't have the right to ask why because they think it was right. Just because the parent thinks it's right, that means it's right. Said and done. Now I wouldn't walk out of there understanding why I got spanked or why I was told not to do the certain thing. So I would go and do the same thing, trying to
that's
really
very
explore and
important.
understand why am I doing it. But if a parent disciplines you in a certain way, like spanks you or screams at you, tells you this is why I did it, you have an understanding of, okay, I at least know why I got hit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Yeah.
when you don't know why you're getting hit, you're like, they just don't love me. That's the first.
That's why you don't touch a hot
People frown
stove.
upon that because that's labeled as like physical abuse nowadays. Here's the thing:
because weakness.
If you think that physical abuse is like such an insignificant slap to the face, like just like a little gentle,
Right.
maybe not so gentle to the point where it like doesn't fucking hurt at all. The point of the disciplinary action is for it to be disciplinary.
Exactly.
So why the fuck is it like if you think that's abuse, then you need to grow the fuck up. I'm sorry to tell you, this generation has estrogenized you straight up.
a little
You're
bit.
soft as fuck.
But it brings us something funny. It's like you don't even need to hit a kid, really. You ever notice like it's like, say like with your dad or something, like a little kid will like try you.
Test you.
Yeah, a little kid will try you for sure. They'll test the hell out of you, and like, and they'll also think they're stronger. And then it's like, say you've never done anything really to show that kid that like you're dominant. It's like you don't need to smack a kid. Like literally, you could just like say a kid's like doing something stupid and running from you and not listening. If you just like literally just stop him in his tracks and grab him up, they're like, oh, you're stronger than me. And he's like, you need to, you know, you don't have to smack a kid. You just got to assert dominance.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
like how you would with a
take
dog.
it back to your point, and then explain to them like a normal person, like a person, why you did it and why that happened and why I didn't want that to happen and it'll never happen again. Please, you know what I mean? But
so
you
right.
can't be going around doing that because if you do that when I'm not around, someone else might do something a lot worse to you. So you need to learn this lesson.
There you go.
And it's
Really
sad
well
too
said.
because like sometimes you almost have to resort to the action of grabbing them or whatever because as nice as it would be for us to just tell our kid no,
Right.
don't do that again, and they'll listen, the actions will always be more powerful than the words, of course, and this is not science to anybody here. So when you resorted to have to like use that action, that speaks to the kid a lot louder than 1,000 words. That's why it's like it's almost like that's what you should do realistically.
Yeah.
Do you know what's crazy too? Like parents, like they discipline their kids for the wrong reasons, right? What they would do is that if the kid's acting up in public, they discipline their child because they're afraid of other parents judging them as a parent.
Dude, right?
They don't give a fuck about their kid. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir.
If their kids act like they might care
It's
about
not
the kid,
that.
but
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
that.
so they don't care
they're
about their
making
kid.
them look the kid's making them look a certain way, so it's hurting the parents' ego. So this kid
Exactly, and that's why they yell, they
and
scream,
instead of
and
just like doing what we just said and just showing like a little sort of dominance and getting on their level and explaining like, yo, we can't be doing this right now. They go, oh, the people around me need to think I'm an in control parent and my
Yeah.
kid isn't acting a fool, so I'm it's almost like a show.
dude,
Exactly.
I like how Jordan Peterson says it. It's like,
What a great man.
yeah, when you discipline like your child and stuff, the reason you're doing it is because if you just ignore, people say like, oh, just ignore your child if he's like screaming, yelling, like whatever, just
Dude,
ignore
right.
the child, right? But Jordan Peterson says like, why would you do that? Because if you just ignore him, then no one's gonna like him when he grows up,
Right.
because he's gonna be acting like that because you didn't do anything about it.
And
He
there's
was
no
having-
negative reinforcement for the thing that they're doing. There's negative and positive reinforcement, and it's very important to instill that into a kid. And what you're saying earlier is like, oh, it's like adults, like kids need to listen to adults because like they have more wisdom, they have more everything like that. But it's also they hold a responsibility. These adults hold a responsibility to impart wisdom and not indoctrination into these children. And that brings up the point of what you were saying about like LGBTQ in school and all that stuff, because there's teachers and people in your life, like role models in kids' lives that they look up to. They really take to heart what these people say, and it's not even their fault because these people are indoctrinated. Like, this is a deep indoctrination, but it's like they're basically priming and prepping these kids to be a certain way, and it's like before they even have a chance to think about it. It's like they're reading kids in 4th grade like books about fellatio and shit and showing them weird pictures when they should just be learning how to play with toys and go to recess and spell certain things. Like, they're doing crazy things for no reason. You know what I mean? And no, I shouldn't say for no reason. For insidious reasons, whether the individual realizes it or not, their ideation has used them as a tool for evil,
They're acting
whether they know
in
or
a
not.
self-interest manner.
Mm-hmm.
Don't we all though?
Very much.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You know, something.
Wait, can you kind of explain that? I don't understand.
The devil is their daddy.
No, the soft manner thing.
The self-interest.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what his whole point was, rather than saying rather doing what a child should do, they're trying to push an agenda that they believe in.
Yeah,
at a very
exactly.
young
Yeah.
age. That's a
Right.
self-interest thought.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, right.
Something.
Like in no
Not
way,
giving them a
in
proper
no way,
understanding of why they believe in
in
certain
no way
They're
should
just
you
saying,
point
"This
a
way you should-"
baby and say my baby's gay.
Right.
That's
Insane.
purely self-interest and being
Insane.
so passionate about
Right?
an agenda.
Like, if say a kid grows up around like say his 2 dads, say this kid's 2 dads, or say they're great dads, they're great people, they don't even like they push any influence onto this kid, but say this is what they grow up around. Say these 2 dads have a bunch of fun friends that like to dress and drag and just be crazy and dance around to like
Right. And say, "I'm a dragon,"
and even
like,
if
yeah.
they're not doing anything lewd, that's weird stuff, and this kid will grow up seeing that as fun. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden he's gonna be one of those little like 4-year-olds that are walking around like, hey, you know how I do it, just because
That's
surroundings.
literally- yeah,
So
exactly.
everybody, when you're immersed in your surroundings, you ever heard product of your environment?
Right.
We're having a lot of fucked up products out here because there's a lot of environments getting fucked up,
Quality
and I
issue.
think we need to
Dude, hormones
look at
and
the
stuff for the
environment.
kids. Have you I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of that, right? Like, they give kids hormones and stuff.
There's
It's
hormones
just
in the
so
milk,
messed
bro.
up.
Yep.
In the milk, the fucking.
No, I'm talking about
Fluoride
actual
in
pills
the
that
water.
they give them
Shut your pineal.
for kids to change their like internal, I would say hormones to
Like,
change
they
like,
give-
their
no, there's a-
like,
They give a girl like testosterone, for
yeah,
example.
exactly, like, yeah.
Transgender people. I know of one that they do the exact same thing. They use pills.
And it's like, it's crazy to think, like, when we talk about it, some people be like, oh, like, what's wrong with that? Like, they can do whatever they want, right? So, Christian, let me ask you this, right?
And yes, you can. Free will. God gave people free will.
Yeah.
So go to fuckhead. You can do whatever you want, and it's not gonna bother me. But I fucking have so much empathy for your soul.
This is also a reason why I feel like people need God. It's just because to discern truth, right? Because there's a lot of, like, especially nowadays, there's so much information, so much falsehood, so much, like, evil, right? Some people are even, like, they're like, oh, there's no way God's real because there's so much evil. But they don't even see the good out there. They see no good because all the media is propagated to look evil, look wrong, look bad. Look at the world, it's bad. So how do you go about discerning truth? Like, okay, this girl telling her baby that he's gay is wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong. But you know,
It's kind of a tough question.
yeah.
How do you personally explain it? I think that's what he's asking.
Like discerning truth. You don't have
rephrase
to,
slightly.
you don't have to say like we know that that's wrong, but like discerning truth, as in like how can like a young man, right? He's
where
confused
does
about
one get off telling somebody what's wrong and right?
like how do like you go about what's right, what's wrong with like the agendas nowadays and how media propagates. How do
Yeah.
you go about like saying okay, like
How
I
do-
know this is bullshit. Okay, like but this is true, and then
How
do
do
you go about
I
it?
decipher truth
Yeah.
from falsities?
Yeah.
Like me personally, I number one This is a funny thing, you guys, but I get my comedy from the news, and I get my news from comedians. I'm a huge fan of fucking stand-up comedy, and there's a wave of podcasts that happen where it's like I've noticed that people are speaking truth and speaking about all the stories that news don't talk about, whether they're being funny or not. You're hearing like raw truth of situations that are happening. You know what I mean?
I was just gonna say the same thing.
It's
All
really
the stand-up
funny
comedians,
because
they
there's
all
no
speak
agenda
the
behind
truth
it. It's
in a funny way.
This is why
Pure
podcasts
truth.
are becoming so popular nowadays. I think is people are craving long, drawn out, long form conversation of substance because there's and of like intellectual substance and
Exactly.
and real genuine just ideas because people are being fed propaganda through the media, left and right, bullshit to make them think a certain way. They're fed, they're told, everybody's told they have ADD or they have some kind of depression problem and they have a short attention span. So this is why you got to watch 12-second videos all the time. It's bullshit. People are smart. People are intelligent. People crave substance, and I think this is why people are really drawn to these type things at this time
People
in
are
the
their
world.
own human being intellectually, you know what I mean, rationally. Because like, let's say for example, in my family, like right now, like they don't believe in God, but I do. How? Why? It's not just because they like. If people say like, okay, like the reason that you believe in God is because your family told you, is because you were brought up, right? Which is not the case at all, right? Some people, yeah, of course, like sometimes that is the case, but sometimes it's not the case because you are your own intelligent human being. Like you are your own being to think for yourself and discern truth.
You're right.
I think too much sometimes, man, and I think I will constantly think. This sounds fucked up, so I'm trying to sound like I will constantly try to disprove God to myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I do that too. I question my beliefs on purpose for
Yeah.
the reason to find an answer. That's
Yeah.
how you have to do it. Otherwise, your belief is just almost like a doctrine that to the point where you believe because somebody else said it, or you heard it from somebody that resonated with you. It's like that's not real belief. It's like sometimes we want to resonate things with us because it feels comfortable for us, but we don't want to challenge it. That's when you should challenge it so you know, okay, is what I'm standing for strong enough for me to seek for the truth and find a true answer to what I believe in? So that I do the same way. Because without that, without challenging your beliefs, I feel like you will never know the strong foundation on why you believe that certain thing.
Right.
So I do the same. I don't think anything's wrong with it. If anything, I think that's something that we need today. Because religion and stuff does a lot of things in a wrong way. You know, they
It
tell
really
you certain
does. Like
stuff to
the
scare
Bible's
you.
man-made, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
But-
it's
but
people
that's the thing,
talking
though. I
back
feel like-
down for years.
I feel like how you interpret Bible is different than what maybe you will hear in a church.
Right.
In a church, somebody might misinterpret it in a way. That's why we have to constantly question, because priests are not gods. People think that as if whatever priest says, that's how it is. It's like, no, go home and think for yourself. God gave you that beautiful mind to think for yourself. Think his word through and apply in your life and challenge him. Because if you challenge him, you will know he's the truth.
Yeah. And yeah, people used to go to church back in the day, like way back in the day when like most people were even illiterate, because this was a dude that was able to give you the word of God. You know what I mean? So that
It's a middleman.
Dude, they're the biggest hypocrites too. So like
It's crazy.
priests and stuff in the
and
church.
then
It's
and
crazy what
because
they do,
of
man.
that, there's
So
been a
dark.
lot of fuckery involved in
Because of
the
that, people will
church.
be like, "Yeah, God's not real because priests rape children or some shit. Like they're
That's what I'm saying.
pedophiles."
It's like it's a little.
Yeah, but
anyway,
that was
kids, just
that
like-
one individual flawed person, and just unfortunately he was representing the church. You know what I mean? I think following God is a huge thing within yourself. Bible aside, church aside, these are all man-made rituals for God. Like God likes to be, I think, acknowledged and praised. You know, he likes to be. I like to try as hard as I can because I fuck with Jesus real hard. I like the story of Jesus. I like the way he conducted himself on this
Same
earth.
here. Like, I may not be
think he
the
was a
person that
great
goes
dude.
to church all the time. I don't follow all the rituals that they perform in the church and stuff. Who claim to be the most righteous man because you go to church and stuff. If anything in the Bible, Jesus never says that's what you should do to be a righteous
It's all about
person.
your personal
He
relationship.
says follow me. So I follow Jesus. I believe in Jesus. He is my Lord, not Christianity, not church.
Not an
He's
organization.
it because I follow him. He says the way to follow, and he even says it. I am the way. He didn't say Christianity's the way because Christianity wasn't a thing when he was around. Christianity actually came after
Absolutely.
when Jesus was around.
Yeah.
That's why the Old Testament in Judaism and stuff is like still the continuation in Christianity.
Right.
And it's just a big differentiation. Like after that, since Judaism doesn't believe in the New Testament because of Jesus and stuff, that's what differentiates. But the idea that Christianity being there all the time is just people using it for their own advantage because it wasn't. Jesus never said follow this certain religion. He never said it. He literally simply said follow me and his teachings. And that's why I said when you historically look at what he did, how he lived, how he acted, how he died and how he resurrected, that gives you a proof that you can trust him. You don't have to trust Christianity or the priest or the Pope. You have to trust him. And that's what people need to understand.
Yeah.
Religion can be evil. It really can be. They manipulate people to get money from
Because
them.
it's
all that kind of
controlled by
stuff.
people and
It's
people are
controlled by
flawed.
people and there's a bunch of shows and documentaries what religion can do in general to people. It can lift you up and it can destroy your life.
Mm-hmm.
And
can
it's
be-
sad. It's sad.
Yeah.
And that's something that I didn't know.
You don't want to be a
until
mindless,
recently,
like
too.
a mindless zealot. You don't
Yeah.
want to be that, man.
Because we're not gonna sit here and tell people, oh, follow, guys, follow religion. No,
Interesting.
follow God, not religion.
Yeah,
Because a lot of religion is
Follow
flawed.
the path of the righteous.
because I'm telling you, they can
Yes.
take the words from Bible or any scripture and stuff and twist them around for their own advantage.
Absolutely.
you can do that, dude. There's a lot of passages that are not meant to read literally, and as soon as you read it literally and take it in that example and tell people this is how it is, and especially priests who have
Why do you think it's called
influence,
spelling,
that
dude?
leads people into a path of not Jesus Christ but devil.
Why do you
That's
think
what it
words is spelling? It's spells. It's like words are to be contorted. It's like spelling is spells, dude. Like that. I ever tell you, we were talking about propaganda and shit. Television, dude. Who the fuck invented television? Just break down these words and shit, and tell me it's like this isn't fucking like fuckery and just witchery and dark shit at play. Ready? Television. Tell you your vision. So
Yeah.
you're not being creative anymore.
I've heard that
I'm gonna
before, yeah.
tell you your vision through programming and channeling shit to you through channels and programs.
Yeah.
Your afternoon program.
Your afternoon programming. Come sit down to your afternoon programming on this channel and be channeled and be hypnotized and be swayed and be fucking. Oh man, so much subliminal,
It's so crazy too, because all those cartoons, there's dark shit in those cartoons.
bro.
Like I saw,
Bro.
Have you guys seen some of the clips?
there's some dark shit in
Bro.
kid cartoons.
Kids and stuff. There's actually sexual assaults and all that kind of stuff even going on
Absolutely.
in cartoons. That if you think about it that deeply, there's this
That's a
video
rabbit
that I
hole
recall. I think it
one.
was Jerry that was holding a saw, right? Literally near your penis and stuff was going like this, stroking into the thing.
Absolutely.
And when you look at it from that perspective and stuff, you can see the evil in it. And it's not just that, like Simpsons too. A lot of people take examples from there, and there's actually some predictions too, which is scary, dude.
I did not know.
I actually,
Oh yeah, the Simpsons shit is
They know-
crazy.
I
I
feel
find
like
it.
there is a group of people that control the world. They know a lot of the things that we don't know for sure, and they're going by it slowly, step by step, because they know the prediction almost. You know what I mean? That's
Simpsons had President Trump in the '90s, bro.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Have you guys seen the
I've seen the
hairstyle?
Simpsons things. I've seen
Wild.
the Simpsons things.
Do you
Those are
remember the
wild.
presentation I showed to you and Mom? From one of my public speaking class? No? No, I actually had in my public speaking class a woman. She did upsize. That doesn't relatively matter, but it's part of the information. She did how Daffy Duck is did she call him
A
a Nazi?
Nazi.
Yes. She did a whole point on Daffy Duck being a Nazi. I'm not kidding. Because Walt Disney apparently had
And
correlations.
what did she talk about?
What? That's a whole nother fucking podcast, Walt Disney.
I recently just seen some like sinister shit on
I
the
couldn't
Worst,
take it
dude.
serious.
A whole nother podcast.
2,000 kids a year get missing from Disney.
But I can show you the
Dude,
presentation.
It's
if you'd
crazy
like.
how those things are deep because you think about cartoons and stuff for kids. It's mostly subconscious stuff. Like that's why there are some good movies for kids. When you're an adult and you're watching like Kung Fu Panda and stuff, as an adult, your understanding of how deep it is very different from a kid. A kid won't understand it as deeply as you would when you watch Kung Fu Panda. But as an adult, I learned so many things from that specific movie itself that you won't learn from any of the actual movies that you watch, like the adult movies and stuff. You won't, because the message there, most of them you won't, especially nowadays. Yeah, I'm not saying all of them because that would be
You'll hear them as a kid, but you won't like truly understand it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing with the subconscious. It gets stored in there and you act it out.
Exactly.
And that's why when they sorry to interrupt again, but to show those bad images and bad videos of degeneracy and stuff through cartoons for kids, guess what? Where's it at?
It's in there.
Exactly. Just like a good can be in subconscious,
Drilled
so
that
can
shit in
bad.
there.
I feel like that's one way they do it too.
Did anyone watch Good Will Hunting?
You know what? I literally saw that movie for the first time like a year ago. I've seen random pieces of it throughout my life, but I sit down and watch it. It's a great movie.
I watched it. I wasn't that big
What
a
is it
fan,
about?
but I heard it's one of the most like. Everybody needs to watch that movie.
What is it called?
Good Will Hunting.
And you wait, and you haven't watched it?
No, I have.
Oh, I thought you said I hadn't watched it. I'm like, did you just bring it up? It's still not. I'm like, yo, this boy's crazy.
It's about how do I explain? It's about a kid who grew up with adopted.
Okay.
I think he was adopted or an orphan, one of the two, and by himself. No, yeah, it was an orphan by himself, and he was absolutely brilliant. Was smarter than the smartest people in the world to a degree at his age at 18, but because he was an orphan, never raised with a childhood or anything, just wanted to waste it.
I'm pretty sure that's Batman.
No.
Well, so
And then he meets, right, so he's fucked
Batman
up, right?
wasn't raised.
He goes to jail, like, he does some bad shit. He gets into fights and shit.
It's fucking Batman.
Tells everyone to go fuck off.
What?
It's fucking Batman.
And then
Batman had
basically,
parents though, right?
they
No, he's
find
an
out he's
orphan.
smart
They
because he
died.
solved the problem. He solved the problem that no one else could solve. Alright? They get him out of jail, says you have to go to therapy, and the guy he meets is a guy...
it's Robin Williams is his therapist.
Yeah.
It's a good
Now
movie.
that you said it, I
So
have to watch it.
so he's a janitor at a college, and they live in Boston and Southie. Yeah, and it's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck when they're young. It's pretty funny, and so they're just some young Boston kids. They're always just being scrappy and shit, and all his friends know that this boy has so much potential and just squanders it, and they get so mad at him about it. But there's nothing he can do. He just wants to be in that because his boys are his family because he grew up with no family. So he just, you know what I mean? So he's not trying to fucking leave that town. He's not trying to do bigger, better things, which they can't. They're stuck in, we're working construction jobs and we're drinking every night because it's what we do because we're stuck in society. But they know his boy is a genius and can do so much more things. So Will Hunting is working at a college as a janitor, and Robin Williams has a class, or not Robin Williams, one of the teachers had a class, and he put up this big impossible math equation on the board out in the hallway and says, whoever answers this just gets an automatic, like, A in my class for the whole 4 years of the semester, you know what I mean? He's like, you're a genius, because he couldn't even answer it himself, the teacher. So... he's just mopping, walking by, and then he just solves the shit overnight. And then he just leaves it on the board. And the teacher's freaking out the next day, trying like, who saw this? And he eventually figured out it was him. And then realized that he was a really smart but deeply disturbed motherfucker. So another person that he went to Yale with or something was Robin Williams, a psychologist. And he made him go see him. And their therapy is why they tell people to watch the movie, the things that they say in therapy, and how just like this kid's holding himself back, and just like and the reasons why he holds his anger. And it's very synonymous to much of the growing pains of, I would say, an American male today.
Remember the one line that he said. Remember Robin Williams says, "You can't even answer that question for yourself." I forget what the question was. That stuck to me. Do you recall what it was?
I do not, but I know it was a deep motherfucker.
That was a deep motherfucking question.
But yeah,
We'll have to see
Great.
the movie together.
great
I
movie.
watched the movie. I didn't like it, but everyone said you have to watch it. It's like in terms of like stories behind it, like Kung Fu Panda. It's probably one of the top ones out there.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like, this is like a misconception that like I hear a lot with like young kids. It's like, oh, like go hang out with girls, like go, like, you know what I mean, just go meet a bunch of girls, blah blah blah. Like it's okay to have like casual sex, you know what I mean? And like don't get me wrong, like hanging out with girls is fine, but it's just like, where's like the when people are constantly like casually hooking up, like that degenerate scene and stuff like that, like what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's
What's that really doing to a person?
I think it's literally one of the most detrimental things a young man and a young woman, a person can do. I mean, dating is I think social media got people really fucked up with like dating apps and stuff to the point where it's like when you walk up to a girl in anywhere in real life now, it's the weirdest thing. You know, if you go to approach a girl in real life, they look at you like you're about to rape and murder them on the spot or something. They're just like, what? You're like hitting on me? But you could slide in their DMs and be like, yo, baby, what that mouth do? And they'll be like, oh, he liked me. Hey, baby, look at this. I'm gonna go meet him. Maybe fucking give him a rim job. Like, and then it's just, it's fucked up. It's like, and they, they check out. And it's very fucked up where it's like you can't even express how you feel to somebody in real life anymore, and it's odd, but people make these social media accounts and shit where all they want is the attention and to get a like or to be said that you're beautiful. But if anybody says it to you in real life, you're fucking literally sexually harassing them and probably go to jail for like 4 years. Yeah.
No, that is the most factual statement I've heard in a fucking long time.
And then you get locked up for 40 years for telling a bitch she got a nice ass. But in San Francisco, you can live on the street and go rob $900 out of a Nordstrom fucking rack and go sell it on the street for fucking crack. And then it's really crazy. And then go do it again the next day, and it's not a felony.
Dude, we can have a whole separate talk about San Francisco.
That would be a fun one. That.
Traumatized her grandmother. Video.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, let's do it. No, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat anymore. I just...
Bitch,
Yes, you.
I threw out my food on the spot. Like my appetite was.
You said no more of that.
Straight up.
But
People are just shitting in the streets, even worse.
This person was washing their fucking ass on a fucking water fountain that people drink out of.
Yeah.
Naked. The whole fucking body. The whole, like, everything. Bare fucking naked.
You don't do that shit?
That's
Now I'm wondering how.
Bro.
You wanna know how
the best part? That
It's
person
public water. You don't even have to pay the water bill.
They're fucking staring right at the camera while
Yes.
doing it.
No, that's the worst part. Because, like, why is that fucking thing looking at me? Is it normalized too?
Well,
I hope not.
Well, there was a whole bunch of. It was a montage of clips like that in fucking San Francisco.
As funny as that may be, and how many jokes that I could fucking machine gun off about that right now, I'm gonna say when you really look down at it, this person has been degraded to the point in his life and in his head self-degraded him down where he has no shame or anything in front of people, where he can just stare in a camera and wash his ass in a drinking fountain smiling at people. Imagine what the fuck that individual has been through, and there's so many. What?
He doesn't care what people think.
There's probably a disturbing freedom to that I don't want to explore right now, but because it sounds fun.
You can show them the video,
I think it's important.
but no way in hell we can put that shit up there. If anything, we'll tell you what you need to search up. I don't know. Search up San Francisco montage. You'll find things probably worse than what we're about to show.
No, dude, and where we live, man, 30 minutes from where we sit right now, we could drive to Kensington and see the East Coast version of San Francisco.
Make it a vlog.
I was in Philly like a week or two ago, bro. I saw that shit in the city. Like, you see shit like that in general, bro. Like, and no, we're not making a fucking vlog in Kensington. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, it's one of them look around motherfuckers.
That's sad, bro.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Like, imagine
from the beginning.
Like, what can drive someone to do that in the first place?
Whoa.
Oh wait, no, they're not bare naked.
Well, their ass close to negative.
Yeah, they're on a public fountain washing their ass crack. So you can debate if that's worse.
And he looks like he just had a long night of fun male prostitution.
I'm trying to figure out what it looks like.
It's like fucking just some really hard drugs. That has to be crack.
Oh, yeah, that's not even crack, bro. That's meth. that's straight meth and fucking like GHB.
You can see it through their face too, like their hair's
Yeah.
I've seen what like meth transformation photos look
Yeah,
like.
and the eyes stay like wide open and shit.
You can see that in that person.
But that sucks because he was literally probably washing the cum of a million meth heads out of his ass in a public water station that he just made like $10 overnight doing. It's horrible.
Dude, it's crazy too because like that lifestyle. It's like some people they like casual sex. They like drinking, smoking weed with their friends. You mean doing a little bit of drugs here and there, blah blah blah. They like their average job. Like they're not like people are just not living. They're just living like such degenerate lives, and like, they think like this life is so fun. Like why? Like I don't need God in my life. Like I'm already good. You know what I mean?
And yeah,
Because you did mention when we were having a conversation that this world is ran by devil.
this world is a fallen world, man. It's a fallen world, and it's a lot easier to just release all of our inhibitions to our lower animalistic instincts and just be an animal. And it's a lot easier to do that and fall into evil than it is to try to be more elevated and walk more righteously, because you gotta work to put a smile on in this world, dude. You really do. And then there's momentum to it, like all things, and it's contagious and shit, but you really need, it's more comfortable to be high than sober, and better, and it's easier.
Yeah.
Remember we were talking about comfort earlier? Comfort is the killer, bro. If you're like, even like say somebody that just stays with their parents when they can move out because my mom fucking cooks for me and cleans for me, and I don't have to go anywhere, and so that's comfort. They won't grow, they won't move out and like experience the world.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You need to be uncomfortable to grow. And if you don't want to grow, that's why we got so many fucking man children nowadays, because of how people are really just, all of their basic needs are easily covered, so they have so much time to fuck off and think about and do things that don't service them, because you need discipline to do good things. Like, people rather sleep all day than play a video game and eat junk food than work out. But you only have one vessel to move through this life, and if you take care of it, you could live forever and not be in pain and not be felt bogged down. But
Immobile.
yeah, or you could fucking smoke cigarettes and do drugs and fuck a bunch of hoes and get an STD and be on a bunch of medications and just literally feel like, I think hell and heaven exist on earth, and it all depends on your choices and your perspective and your choices and your perspective.
You know, it's crazy too that you say that. I was just thinking, like, it's like when I used to like drink with my friends and like you talk to a bunch of girls and stuff like that, and like now looking at that lifestyle, it's not interesting. It's not like pleasing. It's not good.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff is not pleasing to me. It doesn't interest me at all.
Because you've been there.
Because I've been there, one, and two, it's just like I've seen what it's like to walk with God, and I realized this is so much better than this empty, mundane lifestyle.
Right.
Because in that book, Ecclesiastes, right, in the Bible,
Yes.
all is vanity.
Yep.
Everything under the sun is vanity.
Absolutely.
And when I read that some of that scripture, I was just like, it's just so right. Like, none of this really matters except my relationship with God, because that is eternal. That will last forever, and that's the thing that will actually fill me.
95% of the things that people worry about on this earth are completely just not needing to be worried about, and it
Self-inflicted.
puts them into a stressed out, constant, anxious, scattered mindset of giving a shit what people besides the people that love them think, and trying to project an image that isn't, and then living up to it. That would put a person there is girls trying to get plastic surgery to look like their Snapchat filters because if they go out in public, their online persona is a lie. They're that mentally warped.
But what they don't realize is God made them with value already.
Right, perfect.
But people devalue them on social media.
Exactly.
Status, this social scoreboard, right? Society scoreboard.
Right.
If you're not a beautiful woman, you're not valuable.
Horrible.
Toss you down, and that's why girls are so insecure. Same as men. That's why men are
You're
insecure.
not a man with money.
If you're
successful, you're not valuable.
You're not valuable.
What are you?
Toss you to the side. You're scum. Like
Girls don't want you.
Girls
Nope.
don't want you.
It's
It's like
crazy.
this society
It's
has
insane.
made this matrix, this box,
Yeah.
right? But I say, look at God. God
Yeah.
fucking
Listen to what he says.
God
yeah.
crushes the box and says, no, look from the outside. You're here to create. You're here to love. You're here to explore. You're here to.
Because he
everyone
already
has
gave
value.
you the value. You don't
Right.
need the value from other people
We are all
necessarily.
sinners.
If he already gave you the value that you need,
Mhm.
you don't really need no validation from anybody on earth.
Exactly.
That was
Give it
fire.
to you.
And you don't need anything.
Social media dehumanizes people.
It
And the whole point is-
objectification to the
No,
maximum.
it's this idea is if someone doesn't have the same belief as you, I don't know if you've ever looked into a comment, but I heard this on another podcast and they were very right. You look at comments, right, and just because someone doesn't have the same belief as you, you talk to them like they're the
Like
fucking devil, right?
Yep.
In person, that would never happen. So why is it? Just when in earth have you ever in person, just because someone didn't believe the same thing you believed, decided to talk down on them and call them a fucking whatever?
The worst thing.
Yeah.
Worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
But that's what social media has given the opportunity as is you see someone else do it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's normalized. I guess
Right.
I can do it. Oh, this guy doesn't believe in God, and I do. He's the worst person on the planet.
Right. No. It's. I understand you, sir. Like, I understand you, and I love you, and I hope that you find peace, because I think that most people I think hate, anger, and fear run most people, and
it's easier to do than be more patient with them and understand them.
Yeah.
Because on social media, people don't want to put in the effort to get to know somebody. Where are they coming from with those beliefs, you know? Like, Mike, you had all those comments from some people that were very dark, you know? And it's like, it's easier to shrug that kind of stuff off and tell them you're wrong or you're not right, or somebody to comment, you know, you're a bad person. Like, that's easy to do. But what's harder is to go and, you know, actually get to know the person and why do they think a certain way and reach out to help them. That's so much harder, and people don't want to do that. People don't want to get to know who the person is and where they're coming from with that belief and trying to help them, but to say, you're wrong, you're a bad person, this is why you will go to hell, and nobody loves you. It's like,
You made me think of something very
the
interesting.
person's already in that point of negativity, and your comment adds another, I would say, planting a seed for them for you to give them a reason why they're not loved and why they should, even their comments like you should kill yourself, all that kind of stuff. It's like you're planting a seed to, you know, pretty much influence them to commit a suicide, then try in your power to maybe get them out of it.
If you're doing something beautiful, like Mike's doing a good, pure channel. I know where this kid's I know where this kid's heart is. I I really like this kid. I've worked with him many hours. We have many conversations. This is a solid young man.
A lot of hard work to get here.
You're getting there, boy.
Thank you.
But fucking, as all you guys are very solid young men. But I know what he's doing, and it's solid. But when you see these types of comments, this is what you got to think. They're not saying that to you. They're saying that to themselves because they're looking at something they wish that they were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's them. It's
exactly,
really them yelling at themselves in a mirror. I think fucked up.
The thing is, when I do see comments like that, the first thought isn't it's not me being hurt. It's me being like this isn't about me.
Mm-hmm.
This comment is not about me. It's more about them.
Right.
I had this one guy comment.
It says more about them than you.
Yeah, exactly. I had this one guy comment. He said I was just like, what did he fucking? I talked to all you guys about it. This guy said I was like I had made like a coping channel. Like this channel's cope.
Yeah.
And you should get an actual job. You should get a real job. Like you should learn an actual skill. And when I read this, I was just like...
You should be like, you should suck an actual dick.
Dude, I literally said the opposite like 2 minutes ago. Were you not here listening? And you backed me up with it. Now you say that? Come on, man.
I'm sorry, I think I'm just extra protective because I like my young bull. Sorry. Whoever wrote that comment, don't suck an actual dick. Unless like, you really want to. No, don't, because I said it.
No, don't suck it. But, like, literally, like, that comment, it made no sense. It made zero sense. Because, first of all, this guy, like where my channel was at that point, it made no sense. It made no fucking sense. I was already doing good, right? And this guy was just like, yeah, this is coke, dude. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, like, stop. Like, this is, like, this guy was pretty much projecting what he feels on the inside out to people. It's like a call for help almost.
Yeah.
It's exactly that.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. It's exactly that.
I even messaged him. I was like, hey, bro, like, listen, like, I proved to him, like, logic and facts. I was like, listen, like, you're just not right. But if you want to talk about it, DM me. Like, we can talk about it. Because I don't think this is about me. This is more about you.
Handling it like a real one. I respect.
No, of course not. But he did comment back on like one of my other videos too. He's a fan. I know he's a fan.
Yep. He's a fan.
Dude, you're just planting the seeds. You know, eventually.
Exactly.
Like, he knows he's nowhere near your energy, and he's actually he doesn't want to deal with your energy because he's not there yet. Maybe one day down the line he'll keep watching you and maybe apply some things for himself, and then actually have balls to come correct because he wants to come correct. But the only way he knows how to come off is the way he's coming off right now because it's probably insecurity.
Yeah, I'm sure like we've all been emotional.
Absolutely.
We've all been projective before. You know what I mean, I'm not gonna put words in all our mouths, but like, especially for what did you say?
He said no.
Like for example,
Josh.
I remember like me being like early high school and stuff. Like, dude, like I was like projecting. I was just like I held everything in.
Yeah.
I understood now that like I used to just hold everything in and I used to act like unconsciously, like just do things just like randomly and just cringe. Like it was just like such an awkward feeling, just not knowing yourself. That's why I suggest everyone to go out and find themselves.
I feel that to this day often. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know you're the type of person like I respect you so much because like you are true. Like I know you are true. I've been around you enough to know that like you act definitely like they're not afraid to be yourself.
That's kind of where we bonded.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Real recognize real, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Real recognize real.
Yeah, honesty is
shit.
really the best. Dude, we were kind of having a little conversation off camera about the Ryan Garcia situation. I know so many people know about this. So we were talking about like selling your soul to the devil and all that kind of stuff, the rituals that they perform in Hollywood, all that kind of stuff. Some people take it seriously, some don't. Some say whatever, you know, all that kind of stuff. What does that mean to you? What are your viewpoints on it? Because you said you definitely do believe in that type of stuff.
Well,
but people take it literally, as you said. They shouldn't.
There's for as much good in this world, there's evil in this world. For as much good rituals and holy rituals there is in this world, there's the opposite. So, that being said, I understand it. I understand it. I see where it comes from. I see its allure. I understand how you don't even know it's happening to you when it's happening, meaning selling your soul or whatever. Selling your soul is such a I think it's a very broad thing. But it's like, you know, just like
Because you can do it in so many ways.
You really can, and I think I think it can also slip away from you gradually. I think you can start something with pure intentions, and not knowing where the fuck you are, or who you are.
Just like how you said the business thing earlier in the podcast. Like
Yeah.
when people have business and stuff and they have to pay the bills and stuff,
Absolutely.
they tend to do some wrong things, even if it means to make the money in whatever way.
Yeah,
possible.
because they're obligated to the shareholders because they went public because their business that was just once they started like a little mom and pop family business that they had passion for was so when something's so successful, eventually evil wants to jump on and corrupt. Yeah, everything's attracted to a bright light.
Dude, here's how I think about it, right? I know, I watched this Hamza video like a while ago, I think a year ago.
Mhm.
You know Hamza, I showed you.
I fuck with that bull.
Yeah, right?
I like Hamza.
So he was explaining like the soul like with a piece of tape.
Mhm.
So he took the piece of tape and he explained it like a cat. Like every time he put the tape in his hand and took it off, what happened to the tape? He put it back on, he took it off again.
Yeah.
It loses his what?
It
Stickiness.
loses as adhesive.
So pretty much right. The more like you do degenerate things, the more like for example, casual sex, for example, the more you have sex with a different person, you put the tape on them, take it off. The tape it gets less sticky
Beautiful
every
metaphor.
single time.
Yeah.
And so what God does, He gives you a new piece of tape, a fresh new piece of, like every single time you come back to Him with true heart, He will give you a new piece of tape.
Yeah. And and having a true heart is like such a crazy relieving thing to feel if you ever get the chance to feel it.
I feel like
I just want to share what's helped me with. I've realized I've had a lot of.
Still have yet to feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But even getting closer to it makes you.
What's helped me win the battles, I think a lot of each other's battles, is almost everyone here, or definitely everyone here, has a pure intention here. It's their mind that plays their mind games. Do you want to check that?
The mind.
The mind. So what I found is, right,
Devil.
I still have a dirty mind,
yeah.
right? I'm at the end of the day, I'm 20 years old, and I'm full of testosterone, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to have dirty thoughts to the end of the day. Well, you could say that, sure.
But to an extent, that's not an excuse.
What?
But to an extent, that's
my
not
whole
an excuse.
point, right, is what's helped me always win the battle, and I've thought about this, like, why do I keep winning this battle? It's my allocation of the environment. I think the environment is everything. In terms of, I have not gave myself the opportunity of knowing how to even get a hoe.
Yeah.
Like, I personally can't talk to a woman and say, go suck my dick. I think that's, like, extremely fucking disrespectful.
Yep.
And you could even say satanic. It's a word like that. But,
You say
And it's a good
because
that's
thing to
why
have.
you use better
because I
vocabulary,
don't
like,
know
may
how.
may I please have fellatio?
Bro, the fuck that is.
That's a gentleman's way.
Fuck is fallacious.
Dude, you not the words.
Don't say, hey,
Yo,
bitch,
let's
suck my
not go
dick.
into it.
That's okay. I'm sorry.
No.
He pretty much said the same thing
No
in different
fucking
ways.
jokes. There.
Okay.
Apologies. I didn't want to throw you off.
My whole point, right, is even with, there have been intentions at beginning, like you said, when we were still young and we were in the same friend group, where I still wanted to party even when I was on self-improvement. Certain times you saw the social media. Why was it that I never did? And I realized it's because I got rid of all my friends that even I considered to talk to about partying.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I had this thought, I couldn't do anything with it because of my environment. Maybe not the environment's not the right word, but I didn't give myself the opportunity of by surrounding my surroundings in a specific manner.
You
And I
made
think
yourself
that is exactly
uncomfortable,
why. What?
You made yourself uncomfortable to grow.
Exactly, and
You
I
was
think
comfortable staying in that environment, staying in that mindset because it's what everybody else
Yeah.
does. So there's a wide path to it, but to hell is a wide path, and to the enlightenment is a narrow path. You know what I mean?
That's
There's
why it's so
many
hard
ways
to
to
walk
fall, but
Uh-huh.
you can only climb.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to fall. You fall, whatever. You can freestyle fall all day, but if you're climbing, you need to climb and you need to pay attention to what you're doing and make every movement and step accountable and
More precise.
precise and just
in the future.
yeah.
Environment is absolutely the right word because that alone kills all temptation. Like when you think about relationships and why in this generation so many people cheat on their significant other, it's because they put themselves and the male figures will often go and talk to other female figures or whatever. And let's say that male figure is in a relationship, they consistently go out clubbing and everything like that. Like that environment alone it
Reinforces
the
your thoughts.
temptation to fucking cheat because you're consistently putting yourself in that scenario. So environment is literally all is your environment.
Yeah.
And we've made so many episodes and we've had so many discussions as to why environment is almost everything. Your network is your network, or your network is your net worth. Whatever
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, it is a network.
it's so, like the value in your environment. It almost feels like it's infinite.
It's
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
It literally
It really
is.
is.
Like that's the reason why I haven't
Yes.
fallen into dark holes multiple times.
Absolutely.
It's because it's about only people I can talk to about anything. I can't ask you guys, let's go to a fucking party.
That's
I
what
fucking can't.
Literally earlier, our mother asked if she wanted to order a pizza for you guys. I said, good luck trying to have Sadula and Mike have a fucking pizza.
Dude,
I
sit
said
her
that.
down for 20-30 minutes and just explain seed oils,
Dead
explain
ass.
carbs, explain insulin spikes, explain all that shit.
Seriously, because like, as if you two are gonna have any fucking temptation to try that fucking Red 40.
I'd probably still eat the pizza, to be
But that's the
honest.
thing, though. Once a month, like with
with
you guys, I would definitely eat it, but because we know that it's not a consistent thing with us. Like never.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like
I want
we
to
do it all the
debate
time.
her about not eating the pizza.
No, you
Imagine.
obviously you'd still eat the pizza out of respect for my mother, but my point
Nope,
is
I'm
like
not gonna do
because
it.
like
Yeah.
there's no temptation for you guys to eat the fucking
Exactly.
pizza. Like
You guys would eat the pizza, but you guys have, because especially if it was around, but you have the knowledge to not make the pizza be around.
Exactly.
that is true.
Yeah.
True words.
Right. Because, dude,
My
I
mic
know a
was
lot
up.
of friends that talk to me and stuff because they're struggling with like pornography, lust, all that kind of stuff, drinking problems. And one of the things that they tell me often is their social media. What is showing up on the social media? The ones that struggle with lust, pornography, they're like, hot girl, follow girls. I follow the OnlyFans girls, all that kind of stuff. It's like, when you follow them and you go on social media, what do you think your feed is going to look like? Every
Yep.
time they post, you see that picture. Now, what happens is your mind is occupied by that certain thing, and you always keep thinking about it because your brain is pretty much like a computer. It stores that, information, and it's there. It never really leaves, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes it comes back to you in the most random situations ever. Like, there are some thoughts that, or like things that I encountered 2 years ago, and, probably today or yesterday I had a thought about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just how things work. And when I tell them, like, these are the type of ways you can, I would say, shape your environment to not fall into the temptation is unfollow them, right? Delete social media if you have to.
Right.
Don't go on it. Like,
Right.
control yourself somehow. With drinking and stuff, one of our friends was telling us today that, yesterday he saw a lot of videos and stories that people were partying and all that kind of stuff. He was like, it was really hard for me to watch, right? Now listen to what he said. He says, it was hard for me to watch. That means he was tempted by it. So I said, why don't you unfollow those people if you don't want to, live that lifestyle? Because he also said that that's something that he's, kind of going away from, and he's trying to live a different life. And then he goes, but I'm not going to let my friends not have fun. It's like, can you even, like, listen to that answer and understand how intellectually dishonest it is, and how, like, this is a bad word, but stupid it is. I'm taking fun from them by unfollowing them. It has nothing to do with you. You do realize that, right? Them partying and you unfollowing doesn't tell them don't party. You know what I mean? And it's like people want to make up those, like I said, bad excuses, really, really bad excuses to cope on why they still want to hold on to the temptation, because that one day that they're still seeing those stories, they're going to go and party and do it again. It's like this guy was talking, if you hold a cup and you fill it up with water, the more you fill it up with and the longer you hold it, the more your hand's going to get tired and eventually you're going to drop it. It's like you're doing this purposefully, when you do that kind of stuff. So when people say, I'm not going to do this and that because I don't think it helps, or, deleting social media and that kind of stuff doesn't help, it's like they're making excuses, they're coping to still fall for the temptation, and then they're going around asking themselves and other people, why am I still in that same place? It's like, dude, you're doing this to yourself. And when you take that responsibility and understand that it's yourself to blame, you tend to look at things in a different way and take that responsibility to, really work on changing and listen to people.
Dude, it's a spirit versus flesh, bro. Like when being tempted.
Dude, that's what it is.
And I like the saying. It's like the reason that your flesh is against you is because it's not going with you in heaven.
Yeah.
So it's not going with you after you die.
That's fire.
So
I never heard of that.
That's why it's like you're always trying to fight against it. And like a lot of guys, they struggle with lust. They struggle with their sexual temptations and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And that's why coming closer to God with your spirituality, with your higher self, is a better way to get rid of fleshly desires and stuff like that. Because you're not simply living for what your flesh feels, but beyond that, you look beyond what the world thinks. You know what I mean? You look at it from a higher perspective.
What about your body?
Spirit is...
What about it, buddy?
Your body gets rid too, so why take care of it?
Get what?
You lose your body after all, don't you? Why take care of it?
Because God
Isn't that
made
the
this
same
body
point?
for me.
Think
But
about
then God also made the flesh.
You do
for
realize your spirit lives in your body, the body that you have, so you
It
have
holds
to
like
take
my
care of it
dreams.
to hold your spirit.
With my dreams and desires.
Well, your flesh is in your body.
What?
Flesh is part of
flesh
your
is
body.
a vessel.
In your
Flesh
body.
is body.
Yeah, you're asking
Yeah.
like, why should I take care of
Flesh
my body
means
if it's not going with me in heaven?
Well, if that was the point you were making with flesh, wouldn't that
No.
same terminology?
Think
Apply
about
to your body.
Jesus when he was
Dude, okay, go ahead.
Think about Jesus when he was, because you were talking about just difference between flesh and spiritual just needs. When Jesus was in the desert for 40 days
40
and
days.
40 nights, yep, and he was just constantly being tempted by the devil, and he was just praying. He needed so many things, but he didn't need them. So it's almost like he wanted them, but he didn't need them. He knew if he just doesn't listen and just keep praying
And puts trust in God.
and puts trust in God, what he needs will be delivered, even though the devil was tempting him with everything he needed: food, water, and putting in and giving him ideologies to hate his father. Like, why is he making you go through this? Doesn't he love you? You know what I mean? It's just all these temptations. I love the story of how he
I
overcame
think
the
it's an amazing
temptations.
story. And isn't it crazy about that story that the devil goes in the story where Jesus is already struggling from, fasting for that long. I think it was the 40th day.
Yeah.
It was like the last day, right?
Yep,
Pretty much.
he came while he was as weak as he could be.
Exactly. the
That's
weakest he
when,
could
and
be.
that's when the devil comes.
And that's when I was like saying that's what I was saying. I know some of our friends even don't like believe in devil and stuff, and they say like devil's not real. I believe in God, all that kind of stuff. And for me, I think that's a little ignorant to say. It's like you have to really think about that deeply. I was at a point where I told Mike about this too. I was scared to even consider the fact that okay, devil could exist, right? Because it is a scary thing to imagine.
Oh yeah.
He can really tempt you so bad that you will go like away from God, because that's pretty much his goal. His goal is to take you away from goodness and God.
I think a lot of people don't believe in God because they refuse to accept there's a devil. Because if you believe in God, you need to accept that fact.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like, as soon as I established
That's
those
scary.
differences and stuff, I realized how I needed God more, knowing that devil's here.
Just
trying to
knowing
do
what
its
what
thing.
is around you. Like
Yeah.
If you're in the world, that shit is around you.
Yeah, I just wish people would take it more seriously and like just think about it.
The best thing you can do is what you're doing. Live like a righteous life. Be good to yourself. Be good to the people that love you, and be kind and spread generosity and hope.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can do.
Just be a good
Love
person.
it. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
the best thing
Genuine,
that you
pure.
can do. It's the best way to fight back against everything.
This cruel world.
And
Absolutely.
it's the only way, man.
It's like we know that's a good thing because it feels good. Our spirit feels good. We feel like a little fulfilled.
Right.
That's why, like a lot of times, our purpose is not really about us, but what we do for other people. It's about what we give to like this world in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause
Absolutely.
that's
Serve
more
others.
to serve others, exactly.
I love it.
It's paramount. It's paramount.
Yep. Dude, what an episode, man.
Shit,
Chris.
man. Yeah.
Great guest.
Yeah, I'm really happy you guys called me up, man. I was very, very happy
Dude,
to
I
see
love
you guys
talking
again.
to you, man. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
you're one of the guests
see
that
you.
we can really
Good to
talk
see
to,
y'all.
you know?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, you know I ain't gonna bullshit you.
Dude, you're honest. And
I might ramble a little bit. I might say some unconventional metaphors. And I might be a little bit politically incorrect sometimes, but I'm gonna give you the real.
You're honest. You're honest.
I'm gonna give you the real, my friends.
Because that's what matters at the end of the day, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's what people appreciate. When they see it, they know it's right. You
Yeah.
don't need to explain it to them.
Yeah.
True.
People still try to get me to explain. I just let's give them a look.
They know.
We already
have
asked
the
him the 5
question?
questions.
Yeah, we
right?
did.
We have the question though from the previous guest.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Did
we
you
have
guys-
we have a
did you guys-
question from a
And we have a
previous
new
guest.
thing we added, by the way.
Oh, that's.
So the
Do you imagine
previous
we asked
guest
Chris what's
asked
his
the
craziest
next guest
story?
a question.
That's another
And
1
then
hour.
After you answer this question from the
Yeah.
guest, you're gonna ask the next guest a question.
By the
Oh,
way,
And it could
I
be
like what you guys are
anything.
doing.
The
Yeah.
audio, his mic got muted, so some of the audio might be fucked up.
that's what.
But I fixed it.
Are you ready?
Alright, we got one.
There's a gate.
Yeah, it wasn't for that long.
It turns red.
Oh, is it something like that?
Alright, the first question is gay son or thought daughter?
Oh, dude.
You did not expect that shit. I'd love to hear Chris's answer. This is the perfect
He said I'm gonna be real. He said I'm gonna be
This
real.
is the perfect
Alright, now re-say the question a little better.
gay son. Would you rather have a gay son or thought daughter?
A gay son or a thought daughter?
Yes, sir.
Yo, think
Um,
hard. There's an answer.
Yeah, I know. Would I rather have a gay son or that hoe over there daughter? I'm not
This is the first time
stumped.
I've seen
I'm not
somebody
stumped.
actually thinking about it.
Yeah, but I'm also not the reason I'm not didn't just blurt stuff out because my brain automatically goes to funny, and I would have said something probably would have got you canceled. So
Yeah,
I
don't.
stopped, and then
After
Yeah,
but
yeah.
So badly.
and then gay son, thought daughter. I don't care which one because I'm gonna love them. Number one, and I don't think I would have a gay son or a thought daughter because I don't think I would raise my kids to end up like that.
Alright, for starters, I love
Yo.
the answer. You'll love him.
He
either way,
wins.
But that's
He
not
wins.
an option.
Dude.
No.
Yo, that's what it-
Listen,
yo,
when he
yo,
is
Chris,
sick,
Chris.
that's not an option.
Yo,
You
Chris.
have to have one of them. No
Chris,
one here.
that's what I
All right,
answered.
so if I
And
had,
you're telling me you have
one
to
of
pick
them.
one.
so all right, so here's I have a caveat to the question. Is my gay son like one of them really like annoying gay
Extra
like
guys,
extra
entirely.
gay for no reason, or is he just like a normal dude? Is he just a normal dude that just happens to blast some dudes back?
I think we're
sometime?
talking about extreme here, right?
Yeah,
Both
yeah.
ways. Both
So
ways.
extreme, like extreme, like
only.
fucking thought, like
OnlyFans
OnlyFans daughter,
Come on, the
or
daughter as a train owner.
or just a gay son,
Fucks
like
the whole football
hey,
team.
Dad, oh my God, I was doing this yesterday, and I'm like, oh God, son, don't tell me that. And I'm like, oh, I think I'd rather have,
Dude,
This answer has taken 2 minutes.
it's fine. Cook.
I'd rather have a gay son.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask you why. You don't need to.
I was.
No, ask me why.
Why?
Because I wouldn't have to be a murderer. Because if I had a thought daughter, that means a bunch of fucking men are disrespecting my daughter that I love so much and raised over and over again because that's just the nature of the business. And then I would end up in jail because I'd end up killing somebody. So at least, I just have a gay son
You know
and
what?
he'd just
That
be
is-
funny or something.
That is one of the few times I've actually heard a logical answer behind,
Yeah.
like a logical reasoning behind their answer.
And it was almost
I'm
a selfish answer, but it wasn't a selfish answer because it'd be a lot of pain for me. It would suck. It'd be a lot of pain for the girl, but you know what I mean. It's I was thinking about my pain. And I was thinking about my pain, and then I was thinking about thought or not, I would end up getting locked up, and then that would put even more trauma on her, not having father around. It would just turn into more generational trauma that we don't need here.
Listen, it's
You guys send us to Adam to
Second
analyze and
question.
study.
Second question, please.
This will be a shorter.
Yeah. And a better one.
I go right off the heart.
Question. What's one thing you want to do that you haven't done yet?
I want to go up and do open mic stand-up comedy.
Yo, let's go. Let's go.
Let's fund that shit too.
I remember that.
Let's
I
go,
remember
bro.
that.
Yeah.
Let's fund
I
that
believe
shit
that.
too, boys.
Yo, you
Like,
don't
I'm
even
literally
know, bro. I
telling you,
believe
bro,
that so
if
much.
you went on social media, right, and
Yeah.
you filmed a bunch of videos of you cooking and telling jokes
It
and
might
being
work.
a comedian, bro, you'd blow up.
Yeah.
I swear to fucking God.
I promise
Yo,
you, I'm all
yo, let's
for
make
that
it happen,
shit.
Chris. Do it,
And all
man.
comedians
You
ever talk about
you
is food,
cook
bro.
and tell
That's
jokes.
fucking insane.
Cook, tell jokes, make
Dude,
people
I can
smile
imagine
and
him
laugh.
cooking, bro.
Bro, like,
Yo,
bro,
Chris.
imagine you got the knife in your hand, boom, 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 and you make
Chris,
the fat
you'd be a real
and
dancer
Kind
in
of
the
nasty
kitchen,
with
you
a
know what I
knife,
mean?
dude.
Yeah, you are. You're
That's
crazy,
raw.
bro. It's satisfying.
Just try. Just try.
Yo, Chris, you'd be a
What
real
could you
dancer
lose?
in the kitchen if you know
Nah,
what I
we're
mean.
gonna peer pressure this guy. Now
Yeah. Y'all be able to see my kitchen dance.
This is something
what
that
I'm
My
you're.
eloquent kitchen dance.
This is something that you're really good at. You're really funny,
Yeah.
and your cooking skills are immaculate.
Dude, I want to
I
swear,
appreciate that.
Like
one day.
I see the vision, bro. Like you
Yeah.
can make something, bro. You can do stand up comedy, bro.
Yeah.
You can even start like a fucking restaurant and have it like a stand up
And then
comedy.
I could have open
and, like,
mics in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've thought about. I was
Holy
thinking
fuck.
about a sandwich shop, like a coffee shop, sandwich shop, open mic, little situation.
Step by
Dude.
step. It's
Yep.
first step.
Yo,
you create the
that's a
channel.
great
Yeah.
idea, bro.
bro,
The
you
fact that
only-
you came up with
You should be
that.
able to spread so much love in that place, man.
And you start on social media telling people what you
Yeah.
do. You
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
telling jokes, making people smile, bro. Dude,
Yeah,
God has a
Yeah.
plan for you, bro.
yeah.
It does.
I really appreciate that. That's
I love
Because you
that.
speak a
That's-
lot of
I feel
truth
like that's
and you
perfect
say
for
it in a funny way. That's
Yeah.
what comedians do, and you're honest. That's what comedians are. They're honest, and they don't
Yeah.
care if people take it the wrong way or not. They're
Yeah.
honest, and they know they're honest. They know they're telling the truth. That's the traits of a comedian, right there.
I'm gonna be a little
Absolutely.
selfish here,
I
dude. Like
appreciate that.
I absolutely love when people like have like a passion that's not society's script. You know what I mean? They don't follow
society, right
they
in
don't
their
follow the
script.
script. Bro, I
Fuck
I absolutely
society.
love when people have a passion. Like I notice, like dude, like when you have a passion, bro, follow that shit till like all the way your strengths, bro. And that's why like this idea about like you making a personal brand, like doing like it makes me excited, bro, like
Right.
for you.
yeah.
So
And then and
it's out
and
of
what
love,
you're
too.
doing right now, I am getting so excited for you watching you do it, and I get very happy. Like I get very happy. I'm like, yo, look at my boy. I'm like, and you've been practicing what you preach since I met you, bro. Always solid, and like
Thank you.
I appreciate. I love watching genuine passion, bro. And it's a beautiful thing.
It fuels me.
You have genuine passion and you have pure intention.
Yeah.
So it's really dope.
We all do in this room.
Yes,
I know.
You have 4 people here
I know.
telling you should do something,
Yeah.
and you have every obligation to do whatever the fuck you want.
You have.
But my whole point here is
Yeah.
everyone here believes in you. None of it matters unless you do something about it.
Absolutely.
It's all up to
fellas.
Unless you believe it.
I gotta get a little less comfortable in
Let's
this bitch one
brainwash them
day.
into doing it.
And dude, I think the biggest thing is really trying. Here's the thing: when 4 people, I'm telling you, Chris, I can literally, as Mike explained what you're gonna be doing, I can already see like the videos
Yeah,
and stuff, like
and
what
that's
it's gonna
what you
look
do.
like
That's
and stuff, 'cause
pure.
I know you personally, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
It's
give it a try.
visualization.
If it doesn't work out, at least you tried. At least
Yeah.
you knew that
And then
you
you-
put
and
in the
then I
effort
know I
to
didn't-
see if you like it, if it's your passion, if people like it.
Then
And even if people don't like it and stuff, and you like it,
they will.
that's all that matters.
Oh, they
'Cause
will.
that's
I
where it
love
starts. It's your love transferred through the video, and people are gonna see that eventually.
Yeah.
The right won't win, will, and then it will just spread like a wildfire, man.
Yeah, I just need to set myself up for doing that. That's always my shit. I have a weird procrastination that I've been fighting
Definitely
throughout my
reach out
life.
to us, dude.
Yeah, let us
Yeah.
help you out, bro, for sure. We'd
We'd love to.
We got
We'd
the
love to.
cameras with the setup, bro.
We're gonna do it right after this
Badass,
episode.
so
You're gonna
yeah.
post your first one. You're gonna post your first one after this
So he's
episode.
gotta be cooking.
All right,
What?
He's gotta be cooking. But
Okay,
we'll
it's
help
gonna be
him out,
cooking.
like set up and create the
You're
channel.
gonna cook something here,
we're
and you're gonna film a
figure
fucking
it
video.
out. But I really
And you're gonna cook
appreciate
food
that
for us
kind
too,
of
dude.
support.
I want to
Absolutely,
try
I'll
your
do
food.
that
I feel like it's gonna be
Bro.
amazing.
Hey guys, I'm here to cook food for this podcast. You know what I mean?
BrosThinkBig, yeah.
Absolutely. I know. I'm waiting when you guys get big. You already said I'm personal chef when you get big, bro.
Oh yeah.
told me that.
It's locked in, bro.
Yeah, that's locked.
My boy, you're gonna have
I
a
would
personal
dude. I
chef
would have
after
showed up to
you
your
start
house
the channel,
salty,
bro.
like
You have
I
4
would have
options,
showed up to
bro.
your house salty with my knife, just like knocking on your door with my knife, like you said you was. It's a lying son, bitch.
Fuck it, let him in, bro.
Dude, you're gonna be BrosThinkBig official chef too. Promise.
Yeah, that'd be funny as shit.
You have 4 options, 5 options now.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Oh man, thank you for coming on. It was a great conversation.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
I think we all really
Some beautiful human
Chris,
beings,
we're
man. I
gonna have to ask
appreciate
you
this
to give
podcast.
Our future guest a question too.
Yeah.
Anything.
Anything you wanted to be.
Ask your future guest a question.
Make it super deep.
I think he was the first one that didn't ask who's the
Do
next
you
guest,
believe in
right?
God? Wow.
Yeah.
I think everybody asked.
I think so.
Yeah.
Blurting shit out. Let him think. Bro.
Why do you decide to continue living in your hell?
Why do you?
Okay, for context, what should be like the definition of their hell? Because obviously, it can be in so many people in different ways.
That's why it's so crazy, because it'll make them think about they'll be like, what's my hell? And then all of a sudden like something fucked up might pop out of them.
Give us context of what is hell in your mind.
Well, that's what's different for him.
No. I want him to know. So
Hell can be anything from. Like, I think hell is waking up every day and just not enjoying life, not being
happy and
just not being happy,
fulfilled.
not spreading it, fucking doing what you feel you have to do and not what you want to do, not even want to do, like.
The fact that you
Just
feel
surviving
right, it's
through
in your
like
heart.
living in hate. Maybe I should change the question because you guys have more people that consider themselves put together up here rather than people that are living.
Well,
in
everyone
hell.
still has their
living in
flaws,
hell a little
so-
bit. You're living in hell right now. 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 I'm living in hell right now.
Right.
Everybody has a hell that they're dealing with at some point.
People have a heaven.
People do,
Okay.
dude. I think
Do you
that
get to
people
choose
do.
what to want to live in?
I think you do.
Okay.
I think. All right, so. Yo,
Maybe
here's my new question. And it's it's the same question, but worded better.
Yeah.
If
Mm-hmm.
if heaven and hell are on earth, what would be your heaven and what would be your hell?
Whew. Deep.
That's
I
better.
like that. Yeah,
It's an easier one.
that is an easier one.
Yeah, but it's still along the lines.
I like it. Yeah, really good.
Great question, man.
Chris,
I can't. Thanks, sir.
we like to have our guest, as you already know.
Oh my
you were on
God,
here
so
before.
impressed.
The
Holy
quote of
shit.
the day. You see that?
Last time I was here, you guys wrote the quote of the day with one word missing. No. And I read it weird, and I thought, no, I'm gonna proofread it this
Now
time.
it's evolved
I remember
to
something like that.
QOFD.
Or maybe I just misread it because I'm a
quote.
nut.
You see it? I don't,
The quote of the day: the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any, and that quote is by Alice
Nico.
Walker.
Nico.
Yeah,
That
the
is a
most
great
common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any, and that's a very true statement and a
Dude.
good quote of the day.
I don't know what that exact scripture in the Bible is, but it's like the person who has will have more. The person who thinks he has none will have even less. You know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the person that has nothing everything will be given, and somebody that has everything, all of it
Everything
will
will
taken
be
away?
taken.
Is that
Yeah.
that what you're referring to?
I think it was literally the opposite. That the person who thinks he has will have more. The person who thinks he doesn't have won't have any.
Oh, everything is truly perception and mind state. Like a man who is rich is rich in character and is rich in spirit and is rich in friends and is rich in experience is far more wealthy in life than a materially rich
It's almost
man.
like abundance, like right. Like if you don't live in abundance, you won't have any.
Mm-hmm.
But if I live in abundance, if I have of abundance mindset, I will have many.
of abundance.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
forget the
That's
scripture
exactly
in the Bible.
it.
I literally I highlighted it too. I
Yeah.
forget what it was, but
The mind,
We'll probably
the
put it up on
mindset
the
of
screen.
abundance is
that kind of reminded me
beautiful.
of it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's something I try to master myself, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can get pessimistic in my head. When I find that people with analytical heads can like think themselves into fucking paralysis. I get in like analysis paralysis all the time, where I'll just be thinking about something to the point where I think about it too long, and then like the situation I'm thinking about has passed, and I just thought about it. And
it's that ADHD brain,
dude. It's fucking. It's something.
It's like when you think about it, you have like 9 tabs open, and every time you open up a new tab, you don't close out the other 9.
So and they're not all important, I swear.
No, they're not. You just open up and start looking up some shit on one tab, and you open up another tab.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
You're glitching.
Yeah, you're glitching.
Sometimes. Do you know I literally forgot you could like close like tabs, and like since I had my phone, I never closed any tabs, so I deleted like 300,000 like tabs yesterday, like all at once. Like just all the searches I've done on my phone for like the past 3 years are just like on my thing. My phone was faster afterward. My phone was faster.
Bro, that ass, go on your grandma's phone right now and do it for her. You'll be standing there for like 2 minutes. I had to do it for my grandma's phone. I was standing there. This was like a while ago, but I was fucking there for like 30 minutes. What the fuck, grandma?
She needs them open now.
Did you some crazy stuff about grandma? No. But my grandma, why are you looking this up?
Okay. Shout
Good
out.
2 hours, maybe.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Gosh, I'm so sorry.
10:23, bro.
Shout out, right? Rest days equal more gains. Brendan Goofy on TikTok.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Christian?
If rest days equal more gains, I think I'd be the most jacked motherfucker in the world right now.
That's the perfect
I think that's bullshit, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
Right?
Perfect. Dude, there's a reason I asked you that. Because why? Why did I ask you that?
Because you gotta
Because you haven't been going to the gym lately.
Yeah, I have not been. Dude, I miss
talking
working
about
at the
this.
gym, dude. It was nice getting
Like,
out
you
of
gotta
work
get
and
back at
being
it,
there.
bro.
I gotta.
You got 4 motivational speakers right here, bro.
I know,
Reach
I
out
gotta-
to us. We'll fucking take you. We'll take you to the gym ourselves.
To the neck.
Yeah, take you to the neck.
How do
We'll
I
take you
get?
to
How do I get in the neck, dude?
I'll sneak you in.
They all know. They all know me there, dude.
Yo, he's got the
Yeah.
No, but dude, you should.
Kanye
You
West
should
mask.
yo, you can start coming to AFC, bro. That's where us 3 go.
Yeah.
It's a gym, AFC.
Where
It's
is it?
very close to you.
Oh.
Closer than
It's
from us.
right down the
It's
street from
Fish-
Suburban
Fisher Road.
Diner.
Oh,
3 minutes
what?
from you.
That's what's up.
3 minutes, exactly.
Is it
Why do you do
bitches?
that?
What?
Is there good bitches there?
Dude,
No.
if anything, it's
joking.
all you and locked in, man.
I hate bitches at the gym, bro.
he's right on
You look up by mistake and they think that like they're like,
It is crazy.
like,
how
bro.
That is facts. They
I'm like,
automatically assume.
I'm like, how
everything
you
else.
gonna wear how you gonna wear
tightest-
pants that look like your ass, and then expect people not to go, holy shit, that's an ass.
That is insane. That is
Yeah.
insane.
It's facts.
All right,
Alright,
let's
guys,
wrap this
yes.
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Our
so,
last-
So edit that out for me. Thank you.
remember our
And,
closing sentence?
I just gave you the reminder to edit that last one out.
Do you remember our closing sentence?
Closing sentence.
Yes. Do you recall?
Think big.
Dude.
No.
Think big, grow.
We have a 0% success rate.
Think big, grow. But
Yeah.
I think it's just better if we say think big, grow big, guys.
Yeah.
Peace.
Think big, go big.
Think big, grow big.
Peace.